hand is always the smaller one, and the minute hand is the big one. I want you to set your clock to 12:35. So we're at 12:30, and now I want you to set it to 12:35. Do that now.
Do you want us to do 12:35?
12:35.
Are rabbits.
12:35. $12.35. All right, someone raise your hand and tell me, where did you have to move the minute hand to make your clock read 12:35? Can you guys show me with your fingers what number did you have to move the minute hand to? Good, 7. Perfect. Okay, now I want you to move your minute hand to the 8. To the 8. And I want you to send me a chat. What time is your clock at now? If you move the minute hand to the 8, what time is your clock at now? Send me a chat. Let me make sure you guys can chat me. Yes, you can. Okay. What time is your clock at now since we moved it to the 8? Everyone needs to send me a message. All right, who could tell me, raise your hand, what time it is? Who could tell me what time we moved it to? Diana, what time do we end up moving it to?
12:40.
Perfect. Diana, how did you know that it was 12? First of all, wait, raise your hand if you also knew that it was 12:40. Awesome. Diana, how did you know that it was 12:40? What was your strategy? What did you do? I want everyone to listen to see if they have the same strategy as Diana. Diana, go on, sweetie.
So when you told us to move the hand to that thing, and then I started counting by 5. I said 5, 10, 15 to not like I forgot yesterday. I forgot how to count, and then I remembered now how to count by 5.
Awesome sauce. So she knew to count by 5s. Who else just counted by 5s? All right. Who, maybe some of you guys did this. Some of you guys are like, okay, I know this is 12:30. So I could just start counting by 5s from 12:30. 12:35, 12:40. All right, we're going to end this. I'm going to put a random time on the clock. You guys tell me what time it is. I'm going to put this time. Someone send me a chat. What time is my clock showing? You do not have to make your clock show this. What time does my clock say? Send me a chat. What time does my clock say? What time does my clock say? What time does my clock say? All right, raise your hand if you want to share what time my clock says and how you got that. Santana, bro, what time is it first?
6:15.
Awesome sauce. How did you know? How did you know, Santana? What did you do first? Can you walk us through?
I counted by 5s and I put the hour hand on a 6.
Okay, and you knew that the hour hand is what color?
Red.
Perfect, because it's the smaller one, and the minute hand is the blue one because it's the long one. So he knew this was 6:15 and not 3:30 because he knew that that shorter hand is the hour hand and that the longer one is the minute. Perfect, perfect, schmerfect. Awesome. All right. That was our 10-minute math. So sometimes when we do 10-minute math, it doesn't really have to do with what we're actually learning about. Just kind of a little activity to get our brains into math mode. Okay. So how many of you guys, do any of you guys know what a trip meter is? If I say a trip meter, like a vacation meter, or something in your car that reads the miles, does anyone know what I'm talking about when I say that? Mohammed, what do you think, bud?
GPS.
Say that again?
GPS.
Okay, close. So what I mean by that is if I was taking a trip, let's say Miss Kalina is going to go to Vermont. I'm probably going to start where? Where am I right now? I'm going to start at my house, right?
Here.
Okay. Yeah. Have I traveled any miles yet? No, because I'm still at my house. So my first stop, because Vermont's pretty far away, okay? So my first stop is actually going to be Ohio. Let's say it takes me 200 miles to get to Ohio. So I started at 0 miles at my house, and then I traveled 200 miles to Ohio. But I haven't made it to Vermont. And then let's say I have to travel another 300 miles to get to Vermont. Who knows? So if I travel 200 miles and then 300 miles, who knows how many miles I've traveled all together? Santana, what do you think, bud?
500.
500, perfect. Santana, why did you add them together? How did you know to add them together? Can you tell us, bud? Santana, can you tell us how you knew to add those two together? If you don't know, that's okay. So let me try to guess what you're thinking. So you knew that, okay, how many miles did it take her total to get to Vermont? Well, she started at her house, which was 0 miles, and then she drove 200 miles, but she wasn't at Vermont yet. She just went to Ohio. And then she traveled another 300 miles to get to Vermont. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what we are going to do right now, I'm going to read to you a little story. Once I get to the right page. Okay, I'm going to read you a story. I know you're like, Miss Kalina, this is math class. Why are you reading us a story? But this is going to be a math story, okay? So I need all of us to listen, okay? All right. Miss Santos is a 3rd grade teacher. Last summer, she took her children, Keisha and Edwin, to a trip to their grandparents. Miss Santos set the car's trip meter at 0 before leaving. After driving 36 miles, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this here, and I'm going to pull up my document camera. Can you guys see my hand?
Nope.
You can't see my hand? Okay, let's see.
No.
What about now?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So Let's try this again. So Miss Santos took her kids, Keisha and Edwin, for a trip. So whatever I put on my whiteboard, you're going to put on your whiteboard or your piece of paper, okay? Because we're going to solve this question. Okay, so we're going to do a number line. So draw your number line right now. Draw your number line right now. Someone raise your hand. Where did they start out? Where did they start their trip? They had to start somewhere. Where did they leave from? Santana, where did they leave from?
Their house.
Their house. So I'm going to put home. And she said that she had set the trip meter to what number?
0.
0. So go ahead and make your line look like mine. All right. After driving 36 miles, the family stopped at the Pinecrest Diner for lunch. All right, I think we should add that to our number line. So they stopped where? At a diner. How many miles did it take them to get to the diner? Who remembers? How many
36.
miles? Oscar.
36.
Good. 36. So we're going to put 36 on our number line. All right, I'm going to keep reading. You listen. Miss Santos didn't want to stop again. But an hour after leaving the diner, she noticed that the gas gauge was almost empty. She pulled into the next gas station. The trip meter read 79 miles. Okay. Oh, dropped my marker. What do I need to put here? Where did they stop at? Someone raise their hand. Where did they stop at? Destiny.
79 miles.
But where? Where did they stop at? Where did they have to go?
Gas station.
Gas station. I'm just going to put gas. Good. And you said at 79 miles. Perfect. All right. Get that on your board or your sheet of paper while I grab my marker. All right. So now let's keep going. Keisha, said Miss Santos, I have a question for you. Or a math problem for you. Keisha had been waiting for this moment. Okay, Mom, I'm ready. When we stopped for lunch, so that you guys need to be listening, because this is our question. When we stopped at the diner for lunch, the trip meter showed that we were at 36 miles. Now, the trip meter is 79 miles. How far did we travel from the diner to the gas station? So we have to figure out how far did we jump? How many miles did we go from 36 to 79? 1 second, Santana. So think about that. Think about that. All right. So how many? So let's figure. We have to get to 79. So we might be making multiple jumps. All right. Well, I'm not sure exactly how many it takes to get from 36 to 79 off the top of my head, but I do know that it takes 4, if I put plus 4, to get from 36 to 40. So put that on your number line. But am I at 79 yet? No, so I have to keep going. Okay, so now I'm at 40. Let's take a look at our I have a chart. Okay, so if we're at 40, where's 40? Here's 40. How many does it take us to get from 40 to 70? How many 10s do we have to add to get from 40 to 70? Show me with your fingers. How many 10s do we have to add to get from 40 to 70? If I start at 40, 50, 60, 70. Good. If you had 3 up, good. So I know that if I add, let's go back to my chart. If I do another jump and add 30, I get to 70. Am I at 79 yet though? Did I hit 79 yet? No, I have to keep going. So now I'm at 70. Show me with your fingers. If I'm at 70, how many do I have to jump or add to get to 79? If I'm at 70, how many do I have to add to get to 79? Let's see your fingers. If I'm at 70, how many do I have to get to jump to 79? Susan, how many?
9.
Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I have to add up all these numbers that we added. So I'm going to come down here and do 4 plus 30 plus 9. Well, I don't have to go in order, so I can add 30 and 9 to get 39, and then I just have to add 4. So 39, who could do 39 plus 4 for me? 39, 40, Oscar, what do you think it is, bud?
43.
Good, 43. So it took us 43 miles to get from the diner to the gas station. And we did that by jumping on the number line. Jumping on the number line. All right. Go ahead and finish that up. Finish that up. And then we have one more question to do. I'm going to put this up here for those of you who are still writing it down. All right, I'm going to keep reading. You listen. Edward knew that his turn was coming, and sure enough, Miss Santos had a question for him as well. All right, she said, Edwin, if we stop again at 100 miles, how much farther will we have traveled? Remember that we have gone 79 miles so far. So, if I have to do another number line, so go do that now. Either erase your whiteboard, or if you want to do it on another sheet of paper, that's fine too. Get another number line out. All right, so she said, okay, we're starting at the gas station. And she said, if we stop again at 100 miles, I don't know where they're stopping. Let's say they're just stopping at a rest stop. She's asking Edwin, how many miles did we go if we started at 79 to 100? Okay, so my first jump is going to be an easy one. I'm just going to jump to 80. How many did I add to get from 79 to 80? Go ahead and just shout it out.
11.
Try
1.
1.
one. There you go, 1. All right. Now, can I jump from 80 to 100? Does anyone know how I do that? How would I jump from 80 to 100? If I look at my chart, if I want to start at 80, how many do I add to get to 100? Who thinks they know? You could go ahead, shout it out.
20.
Good. So I would do one more big old jump and I would add 20. All right, what do I do with these two numbers? Because I'm not done. What do I do with those two numbers? Who could tell me? Just shout it out loud. What do I do with these two numbers? Shout it out when you think you know. What do I do with these two numbers? What did we do with our numbers from this one? We had to add them. So what am I going to do with these two numbers then?
Add them. Add.
Okay, so 20 plus 1 equals what? What is 20 plus 1 equal? Just shout it out.
21.
Perfect.
21.
21. So it took us 21 miles total to get from the gas station to their next rest. So how can I write this as a subtraction problem now? I could do, okay, if I set it at 100, I took away 79, and I got how many?
21.
Perfect, 21.
21.
How can I write this one? I could be, for this one, we could do, okay, if I was at 36 miles, how many did I have to add to get to 79? Who would know what would go here? If I started at 36 miles, how many miles did I have to add to get to 79? Just shout it out when you think you know. If I was at 36 miles, guys, we answered this one. How many miles would I have to get to 79? How many miles would I have to get?
43.
43. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Keep those out because they are going to help you. Okay? So, listen. Please mute yourself. Listen. All right. I'm going to show you. Who remembers what a review is? Remember, it's not the review like, oh, I'm going to look over these pages. No, something different. Who remembers what a review is? Kweku, in your own words, can you explain it to me?
A review is like an example of like if you go to a restaurant and you'll be like waiting in the line forever, then you just give it like 2 stars.
Okay, so you'd probably give it a bad review. So a review is like your opinion or how you feel about something. So all of you guys have seen, here, we'll go over this PowerPoint real quick. All you guys have seen, it's a type of writing that explains your feelings towards a topic, idea, restaurant, movie, games, place. We talked food, and we looked at these 2 reviews. So this was a good review, a positive one. So this is about a restaurant. It says they were very accommodating and friendly. Those chicken nuggets were on point. But this one was a bad review or a negative review. Waited forever in line. Nearly took 30 minutes from start to finish, and there wasn't a bunch of cars in front of me. So we came up with some ideas. Food, movies, hotels, stores, tablets, games, video game consoles, phone, restaurant. Now remember, we cannot just say restaurant. We have to be specific because I can't just say, all right, I'm going to review a restaurant. Well, what restaurant? And remember, it has to be something that you've done. If you've never eaten at Chipotle, could you review Chipotle? No, because how are you going to review if you've never played Fortnite? Could you review Fortnite? No. So yesterday, those of you who were absent yesterday in writing, what you did yesterday, and you'll just have to do it today, is you were supposed to open up your writing journal. So I'll get mine. Those of you who did it, you're fine. I'm just explaining to the ones who haven't done it yet. Was it this one? Yes. Okay. So yesterday, I got changed. We got to fix our dates. Remember, because Miss Kalina messed up. But don't worry about it right now. Okay. So yesterday, what you were supposed to do is you were supposed to come up with a list of at least 3 things that you personally could review, could express your feelings about. I picked Target, Nancy Drew Games, Aurelio's Pizza, and Long John Silver's. Now remember, one of those things on my list was something I was going to give a bad review about, and that was Long John Silver's. But I decided to pick the Nancy Drew Games because I play them a lot. I've been playing them for a really long time, since I was your age. So I decided to just write a few sentences. That's all you had to do yesterday. You had to put your list and write 3 sentences. So my sentences were, I love playing these games. They are so much fun. There are many to play with, all different stories. Okay, that was yesterday. So when we have time to work, those of you who weren't here yesterday, you will need to do that. Make your list and then write 3 sentences about one of your things. So let's go on today. So forming an opinion, that's what we're going to be talking about today, okay? Opinions. So remember, I said we do this already. Every time we do a story or read aloud, I have you guys rate it out of 10, rate it out of 5. So how can we do that? Well, how do you feel about your topic? How would you rate it out of 5? How many would you give it? With 5 stars meaning it's great, 1 star meaning it's not good. Would you give it a smiley face or a sad face? If you were rating it out of 10, would you give it a 10 to be the best? 1 meaning, it was terrible? Or a 5 meaning like, okay, it wasn't terrible, it wasn't the best, it was okay. Or sometimes I do this guys all the time, thumbs up, thumbs down. Did you like it? Did you hate it? So if I had an opinion about something, I want you guys right now to think, look at your list. Right now, go ahead, look at your list and look at your topic that you picked. I want you guys right now thinking about your topic. Rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 and send me the message. Send me the chat. Look at your topic that you should have picked yesterday. Rate your topic on a scale of 1 to 10, meaning do you love this thing? Whether it's a book, movie, TV show, game, food, restaurant, fast food place, or you hate it. So, okay, all right, I'm seeing, rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, guys, 1 to 10.
On our drive?
Nope, send me a chat.
Miss Kalina,
What?
why did you put in the date 30 instead of 31?
Don't worry about it. All right, perfect. So that is how you would give your opinion. It looks like some of you don't really like your topic. That's okay. I never said you had to do a positive review. I said you could do a negative one. It doesn't have to be great. Not everything you review is going to be a good review. Maybe you watched a movie and you didn't like it. There was nothing you liked about it. All right, so here's what we're going to be doing today. We have about 15 minutes, and this is what you guys are going to be doing today, okay? So you're going to write your opinion about your topic. That will be one sentence. You're either going to say probably something like, so if I was going to today, I'd put 12-1, and I would put my opinion. So I'm going to put Nancy Drew game. I love Nancy Drew games. Okay? There's my opinion. Now I'm going to go back to number 2. It says come up with 3 reasons to explain why you feel that way. So that means I need 3 more sentences for a total of 4 sentences today. So I'm going to think I love Nancy Drew games. Why do I love them? Maybe you could take something that you wrote yesterday. They are really fun to play. All right, that's one reason. I have to think of 2 more. I like all the puzzles and spooky characters. All right, that's 2 reasons. I need 1 more reason. There are so many of them. I never get bored. Boom, 3 reasons, and now I'm done. So my first sentence, again, is going to be write your opinion of the topic. Is it something you love? Is it something you hate? Do you think it's just okay? So you started off with saying your topic, I love or I hate, and then your topic. Then you have to come up with 3 reasons. How many reasons? Shout it out.
3.
Perfect. 3.